What we find in working with agricultural cooperatives is that water is a big issue. We work mainly in Rwanda and Uganda, and we support women to become economically empowered. In the rural areas, you find that women are the poorest of the poor. Women are also more likely to be involved in agriculture, but they don't receive any extension services. They have no access to fertilizer or seed. So Africa Development Promise feels that we can support these women to move from farming for subsistence to farming for business.
When we come in as Africa Development Promise, it's mainly to provide certain linkages like training or infrastructure that can then help these women to realize these economic goals and then achieve self-sufficiency. The lack of access to water has been one of the limiting factors for them, mainly because they have to rely on the rain, which is not always consistent, and so sometimes their produce suffers as a result. So with the groups that we have worked with, we've provided support in terms of irrigation. One of the things that they are now being able to make additional income from is selling water.
Where we are, this is the central part of Uganda. We are in Wakiso district. They basically are agricultural community. They do a lot of crop production and a bit of animal husbandry, which is their livelihood. So our intervention as ADP is likely to improve their household food security, but also income enhancement as well. They've done production for many years because of the unreliability of rain. They produce, but at the end of the day, the yields are very low because the climate has totally changed of late, so production becomes a challenge. But with provision of an irrigation system, they are bound to get a bumper harvest without depending wholly on rain.
Africa Development Promise's impact has been quite significant over the years since we began working in 2015. One of the main changes that we have seen is that we've seen that the women have had significant economic gain. The women have been able to pay school fees for their children, which is something very significant.
We believe that the cooperative model offers the women the opportunity to work together and pool their resources. And in pulling their resources, they take the risk off themselves and place it on the business. That way, should there be some kind of threat related to weather or pest or anything like that, the business may suffer, but at the household, they continue to have food for subsistence. We have helped several of our cooperatives with accessing clean water, both for drinking and for agriculture. And what you find is that in bringing water to a community, the community is transformed.
For the water solution, ADP has done a lot because when we started growing mushroom, it has not been easy because the mushroom were getting rotten because of dirty water. So when the ADP has implanted water for us, from that date up to now, we have not yet got a problem of mushroom rotting. So sincerely, when we came together, plus the assistance of the ADP members, sincerely they have empowered us.
We look at soil management, we look at water resource management, those kind of things that will help the farmers grow the best possible crop. Our goal is to make them more productive and less laborious. I was born in Seychelles Islands and I moved to Uganda when I was very young. And one of the things that I became very aware of is the strength of women in the rural communities. In coming back, I see that the strengths are still the same. The opportunities are few. So this is where we at Africa Development Promise feel that we can continue to build the capacity of these women who can then become leaders and change makers in their communities.